Nocturnal Frequency Radio, hosted by Steve Jenny and his satanic assistant, Alex Houdini, both of whom can't go into churches without vomiting.
And welcome to Nocturnal Frequency Radio, live on the New Visions Radio Network, and of course, simulcasting here on our YouTube channel. Alex, how you doing, buddy?
I'm doing well. How are you?
You don't sound well. I'm sorry. No,
I don't sound well. Well,
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
that's just the way I am.
Sounding a little rough, around the edges there a little bit.
It's been a crazy weekend.
It's been a crazy weekend, yeah. And of course, we are so happy to have our really good friend Tim Shaw joining us back after we probably do this once a year, Tim.
And that's not enough. So we'll just come around and say that's not enough, because you guys are like beyond cool. You guys are effervescent and iridescent, and you guys can figure out which one is which.
Hey, right back at you, buddy. You're amazing. You're a ball of energy. You're just wow, man. And it's always great to have you on.
And it always helps when we all have the same barber.
Look at that. I'm a little shaggy today. I'm not gonna lie. I had a long night last night, so I didn't want to go and like put a razor in my hand. I wasn't quite sure where it would end up.
Well, we have to catch up on the bottom though, right?
You know what? I'm at that point where when I lost everything up here, I said, there's no point in like having hair if you can't grow it. So I just kind of let it go on the sides there.
You pulled it down?
A little bit. But you guys have chins. I don't have a chin.
No?
So, no, oh my God!
I don't know.
I got a super diminutive chin, and it's like it's like a turkey neck. It starts like here, and it goes down. So this is like a fake chin.
It's a chin replacement.
That's it.
Oh.
And I didn't have to go to a doctor for an implant. All I had to do was just go and like let it grow for like 2 weeks, and this is what I got.
Hey, if it works, right?
It does.
So how are you doing? I don't want to say what's new, because there's a lot new. I mean, there's so much. You're a busy guy, and wow, you've got a lot going on. But let's get a little caught up. Let everyone know who is new to Tim Shaw.
Well, I don't know. I'm not all that spectacular. I'm a medium, and I do some Reiki healing, and I've written a couple books, and I've done a couple appearances, and been doing some things on TV, and been traveling a lot. So that's basically me in an entire nutshell. That's like the 50 Cent version of me. It's funny because I ran into somebody. I just did a talk at one of our local public libraries, which I love.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, because that to me is what we should be doing. The cons in that are all great. Don't get me wrong. They're fun. But it's so nice to be able to go and talk to just some great people, And she goes, "Oh my God, this woman goes, I wanted to meet you for the longest time. I'm a fan and all this." I said, "I'm pretty underwhelming once you get to know me, believe me." And that's the truth. That's the truth.
But you've been busy. You've been really, really busy. I mean, we were talking before we went live here. You've been super busy, and hey, rightfully so. I mean, you're well versed in a lot of things, especially obviously with the paranormal. So, I mean, there are people who would like to get a piece of Tim.
Hey, for $10.99, you too can have a piece. You too can have a piece of Tim when I shave this. I'll put it in little envelopes for people.
We'll have to add that to my haunted museum here.
Yeah. Oh my God, that's all. That please. That's all I need. A little effigy. I have a little bobblehead of me with the beard glued on.
So, but okay, we've just basically been through, 2 years of craziness.
Yeah.
Things have, starting to open up a little bit. Well, a lot in the last little while, and things are looking a little better. And are you finding that people are coming, hey Tim, hey, we're putting this on. You want to come out and give us a hand? You want to show up, give a reading, or
Yeah.
do a talk here, a discussion with whatever. Yeah, you're finding that a lot more.
Oh yeah. I mean, I just got another invitation today, as a matter of fact, for a really nice little event in Dundee, Michigan. I really do love it, and I love the people there. Uh, but I'll be honest with you guys. Like I said before, I've actually pulled back because everybody is like, oh, COVID just slowed us down.
Mhm.
I got to tell you what, it didn't slow me down, because I've every week when well, first off, we got into this new house like 2 days before COVID shut the world down.
Mhm.
So I was working around the house and setting stuff up. And then from there on, right through last year, a buddy of mine and we would go out on these adventures, and
Yeah.
we had bucket lists. I mean, I am bucket lists. I'm sorry, we had trough lists of places that we went, and it all ended up that we all ended up like on the return visit, we would go and stop at like different pizzerias along the way. We already that was like the real reason why we were going, but
Yeah.
there were so many places that we wanted to see, so many places I wanted to see. Uh, I did I shared a gallery at uh, the Buckland Museum of Witchcraft and Magic in Cleveland. So I, was able to go and showcase some of my stuff there. But I mean, I just didn't stop. And then, of course, I mean, I filmed like last year. Yeah, last year I filmed on the USS Edson for a project for Steve Shippey, who does a lot of the shock docs on Discovery Plus. For next year, he's going to go and premiere it. Then I did. I'm trying to think. I did four. Yeah, I did 4 episodes for shows last year.
Mhm.
I did a sizzle reel last year for a production company. This year we did a full pilot. I went and then I did one episode for season 3 of Portals to Hell last year, and then I got called in January to do another one. And then I
Well,
went,
okay, so
and then
what?
Shippy called me for another thing at Haunted Saginaw. So it's like always busy.
What is Portal to Hell exactly? What exactly is that?
Well, that's a neat little show on travel, and you can find it on Discovery Plus.
Mhm.
With my old friend, and I mean we go back many years. Katrina Weidman and Jack Osborne, and they travel around.
Okay. Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
familiar.
they
Yeah.
they travel around, it's a ghost show, and it's nice because they asked me to come in, and myself and other mediums and psychics to do psychic
Okay.
walkthroughs of
Yeah.
locations. And that's, first of all, I'll tell you what's cool. It's very cool to be able to go in there and try to match stuff up,
Yeah. Mhm.
because they got specific stories. You walk in there, and sometimes you can derail everything because you're just not getting that stuff.
Yeah.
And a lot of it's urban legend too.
Mhm.
But also, what's neat about it, and I'm going to be totally honest with you guys, I get picked up and I start working at 8 o'clock, and usually I'm in bed by midnight. my walkthrough is only like 3-4 hours, long, and my segment that they do,
Mhm.
and but I really enjoy it, and I've known Kat for years, and she's one of the most sweetest people you ever want to meet. And Jack Osborne is really a nice guy. And I got to tell you what, he gets a lot of flack for, they're like, oh, he's a Hollywood guy. He's the
Mhm.
son of whoever. But
Yeah.
but I will tell you something. He knows his stuff. I mean, he really does. He's not he's just not like a talking head. I mean, we've had some really cool discussions on like psychedelics, and we're both kind of comparing some spiritually inclined psychedelic rituals that we've actually done, and things of that nature. And he does know his stuff. He really does. So it's really a joy to watch and watch him
Well,
work and talk with him.
let's get into that because that's interesting. Because I mean, not a lot of people really know. Well, don't think about that too much. I mean, they do think about it, but they haven't really experienced that sort of thing. I mean, personally, Do you think that certain psychedelics do open us up
Yeah,
to a certain
yeah,
realm or
yeah.
whatever? And how so? How, like, sort
But
of
it has to be
explain
the
them.
right. It has to be the correct
Yeah,
set and setting,
yeah,
of course. I
yeah,
mean,
yeah,
you just don't go and find some mushrooms and out in the backyard where the
yeah,
dog pees and
yeah,
and consume them.
yeah.
It has to be the right thing, and it has to be under the right conditions, like sweat lodge. That's basically
Hmm.
how I do
Yeah,
things.
yeah.
But like sweat lodge, or you're doing it for a reason. A lot of times, it might be a health reason. It might be uh, something that may be out of balance in your life, or even in your mental health,
Hmm.
and it has to be really something that you want to do and you want to experience it. So yeah, I do believe it pushes you sometimes in a different shamanic reality.
Yeah.
And I've worked with different shamans over the years, and I have to say that if you're not doing it recreationally, as a just as a high while while you're watching Flintstone reruns, you know if you're not doing it for that reason, but if you're
Yeah.
doing it for more of a more spiritual reason, it can be a most profound uh experience. And I have to say, and it was neat because I mean it not often do I get a chance to talk to people that do that. I mean, some of my friends up in the reservation, of course, I mean, they take part in different rituals and ceremonies.
Hmm.
And but I mean, when it come down to the you know us us rather white Caucasians over here, that you know we really don't, I don't really run into people in the metaphysical communities, or even the paranormal communities, that have uh taken part in that. Years ago it was more prevalent. I have to say, like in the late 80s and 90s,
Yeah.
it was a lot more prevalent. Now it's sort of like something that is like, they see it on like the Discovery Channel, or they see it on A&E or something, and they go and they're like, that's interesting, but and then they kind of really overthink it a little bit, instead of just going and saying, well, you know, when in Rome, be be one of the Romans, and experience it, So, but yeah, the my experiences have been very, very profound.
So yeah, and I've heard that quite often. Even if it's something that people haven't sort of, it wasn't on their mind,
Hmm.
uh, that they're going to sort of have this sort of experience, and they have an experience, and they're like, okay, how do I explain that?
You
And
don't.
then yeah,
I'm going to be honest with you.
yeah.
I mean, you can. There are certain parts that you can explain, where they're like really neat experiences, or
Mhm.
whatever. But then there's certain parts that uh it's almost primeval.
Mhm.
It's I don't know if you guys. The only way that I can equate it is like if you go to if you ever watched the movie, it's a classic. It's a cult classic called Altered States,
Oh
where
yeah,
they
classic. Yeah.
work with isolation tanks. Well,
Yep.
back when I was in college, I worked with isolation tanks. We
Oh
had
wow.
one here.
Okay.
We had one at Medaille College, of all places, here in Buffalo, New York.
Wow.
And yours truly logged probably about 50 hours in one. So not at all, at the same time, but I mean, over a couple
50
months
hours
period.
in total. What?
Yeah, it's over a 3-month period.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
But it becomes that almost like primitive mind. It almost it really it pushes you to a different clarity,
Mhm.
and
Yeah.
being a medium and stuff. Yeah, I can't say that it helped me be a better medium. I can't say it helped me, like, read a house, or whatever, do contact work any better than what I do now,
Yeah.
and which is, I'll be honest with you, between all of us, I'm like adequate at it. uh but I will say that it gives you a different way of thinking, and it gives you a different way of surviving in this world. And I think that's why I was able to survive COVID so well, because of the fact that I could draw on this primeval experience,
Yeah.
and just say, okay, now it's time to stop. Boom. Okay, now it's time to go out and see what I can find. How can I forage? How can I find all that forlorn toilet paper that we're out there foraging for? Or, but I mean, it it gave me a better sense of surviving, and it gave me a better outlook I think that's a bit, instead of like losing yourself in a hopeless mess, or getting into that poor, pitiful me thing, which, I mean, you guys know what my health has been, and, I've had chemo and stuff. So,
Yeah.
I mean, instead of like concentrating on the negative, I think it helped me like really be a little bit more positive with my eyes open. And it's just that, because it's just those experiences.
So what about keeping in tune with, you know, your mediumship and stuff like that? I mean, are there things that you do on a personal level that sort of keep yourself sharp, or expand, or clarify? Are there mind exercise? Are there things
Oh
that you
yeah.
do? Yeah,
Oh
like
yeah.
like
Yeah.
like like.
Like I
Yep.
listened to AC/DC on my way to every reading, every event. I blast it. I blast it. Well,
Uh,
because the theory
yeah.
is that if you're working from a higher feeling of joy and happiness and like excitement, and you really want to do these things, you're going out to a gallery reading, you're going to go or talk at an event, you got to work from here. And it
Mhm.
makes it so much easier. You're working from a higher vibration.
Yeah.
Because sometimes you walk into a hall and there's people there and we're going to do gallery, or like if I'm at my church, you walk in, they ask me to go, and they will ask me to do 3 readings or bring message work. And sometimes it's like walking in sludge. It's like it's like walking on a rainy day in ankle deep muck.
Yeah.
That's what sometimes the feeling is. But if you yourself are like, yeah, I am ready, I want to do this, this is fantastic, boom, that's it. And it's funny because a lot of my friend last night, she did like a little gallery, because at the event we were doing,
Mhm.
she goes, I have to do a little meditation. Everybody's got their own process. Me,
Yeah.
I'm just like, yeah, let's ready to go. But also, I trained under Tom Brown Jr., who is a survivalist, and I consider him an American mystic. And
Okay.
he's done a lot of work with Native American medicine societies, and he taught us. I took a great class with him up at the Rhinebeck Institute at the Omega Institute in Rhinebeck, New York, and he taught us to get in and out of the zone with a breath. And it's not easy to do, but it's easy enough, and it's a lot of cognitive reinforcement. And just with one breath, you're in the zone. One breath, you're out of the zone.
Yeah.
And I think that's why I can like do the like when they call me for portals or whatever, I can kind of walk in there and boom, because most of the time they blindfold you. It's totally, I hate being blindfolded, which totally sucks.
Yeah.
But I just hate it. But you take that blindfold off and you take that breath and you're ready to go, and you're coming from that upper echelon. You're ready
Yeah.
to rock and roll. And that's what it is. You psych yourself into it. But because there's a lot of different mediums that do a lot of different things.
Mhm.
But me, I use the KISS method. Keep it simple, stupid. If I can get into it quick, I'm going to get into it as quick as possible and rock and roll it.
I got a
And yes,
question.
Kevin, I do yell out, yes, thunderstruck. Yes. I'm not going to
Oh,
lie to
yeah.
you about that, Kev. Yes, I do. I am just an old rocker. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? I'm just going to come right out and tell you that.
That's hilarious. That is so cool.
So Tim, I wanted to ask you a quick question.
Yeah, go for it.
How and when did you find out you were a medium?
My family, spiritualism has been in my family since the 1880s. And I was brought up Roman Catholic during the school year, but we used to go to the spiritualist camp of Lilydale during the summer, visit the relatives, my father's side. So I first started going to Lyceum there, which is like the Sunday school. And that stuck more than Roman Catholicism. Now, if Roman Catholicism had been taught a different way to me rather than the pablum way, and then they had gone and concentrated on the miracles and the mysteries of Catholicism, I probably would never have went with the spiritualist side,
Mhm.
because it's quite amazing, because I really, to me now, at almost 65, it's like, this is like crazy stuff, and I remember a former Jesuit theologian telling me, if you want to learn what mediumship is all about, read the life of the saints, because they have all of that abilities, and that's what I did. So I mean, I really thought it was really interesting. But also, I mean, when you're down in like this little village, and just about everybody's a medium down there, and you're doing like children's seances, and you're doing neat stuff like that. You're exposed to so much, you can't help but like have your brain almost explode. We had Alex, you'll get a kick out of this story. The best, this is one of my favorite stories to tell. So I'm in 8th grade, right, and we're starting the school year, and of course, Sister whatever her name was asked, "Okay, class, I need you to write an essay of what you did on your summer vacation." Well, everybody's, well, I went to the lake, I went here, there. I said, and this is a true story, I wrote, well, I went to the healing stump, man, or the healing trees. I got a message from my great grandfather who's dead. We did this children's meditation. We did children's seance, and I felt like I was like the kid in in the Christmas Story, waiting for the A+++, and I got a little envelope. There was like 48 kids in my class, so they're all giving out, the essays back, and I got an envelope, and my envelope was addressed to my parents, so they had a school meeting, and my father kind of took this nun right to, because we had nuns at the time, took her right to task, and cut her down pretty good. I was left in the car. They didn't want me to be during the meeting, but they went and I know he kind of gave it to her, and her response was, "Okay, that's all well and good, but would you please tell Tim not to be talking about it, to the rest of the class." And my father said, "Will you just shut up? What's wrong with you?" And I, the fathers back in those days, and what did I do the next day? I was telling all my friends about it. So, but that's pretty much where I started it, so that was like, Alex, now, I hope you have your seatbelt on, because it was like 1972 when I first was exposed to this stuff.
Oh,
I was about 10 years old, somewhere around there, 72, 73. So yeah,
wow.
so it's been a while, and I took a number of years off. It was disco, so I was like, hanging out and doing crazy stuff, and and then eventually, like right in the
It drew you
early
back.
early to mid 80s, it just opened right up again. I was back.
And what kind of a difference did you notice? Like, coming back to it?
None. I
None.
came back the exact same way I left. And that's what I tell students. Like, if you want to take a break, you want to take a year off, you don't want to do this for a while, maybe you want to get your head in a different space before you come back and do it. Because this can be, the foldment process, which is when you're working with this stuff and you're starting to develop, it can be a little unnerving. I mean, man, I had, I'd wake up in the middle of the night and I'd be sitting on the edge of the bed talking to somebody.
Mm-hmm.
And my wife would be like, "Who the hell are you talking to?" And I would blah, 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 blah. And I'd say, she's wearing a green dress, but she's dead. And my wife would go, "In this room?" And I'd go right back to sleep. And she's in a fetal position underneath the blankets, this is when we were first married.
Yeah.
And, so I mean, it really, you got to really kind of watch it. It's,
Mhm.
a lot of people want to do this, but then when, it really, when the poop hits the fan and it starts to really start winding up, a lot of people, and you start like maybe visualizing things, if that's what if that's part of what your makeup is, and you're starting to see things, or you're starting to get the shadows that are walking around, you have to really kind of come to terms with it. But everybody I know that's taken any time off has come back at the same level that they left.
So, but the everyone around you, though, I mean, like, sure, you can sort of ease your way back into it, but I mean, everything around you, I mean, the whole community, did you find it different? Did you find
Oh
it sort
yeah.
of
Yeah,
veering
it's
in a different sort of
everything.
direction?
Well, yeah, everything, I mean, when I first started, I mean, we're
Mhm.
talking about the 70s, we're talking about the beginning of the new age, coming out of the
Yeah,
60s,
yeah.
and the communities were starting to go and be more represented. They were people kind of looked at them a little bit more benignly. You know, they didn't think everybody down there was a, you know, the devil worshiper, you know, and everybody's going to hell, you know. It was different. So when I came back to it, it was more accepted. And also, you know, also along with everything, it's like a bowling league, you know. So all church organizations and spiritual organizations, just like bowling leagues, everybody hates each other, you know. Everybody comes together, then they hate each other. But I found that it was you could go in all these different. There's like probably 100 more different directions in which you could go into, and instead of having to go and which is one of the big things that I had a problem with. Instead of going and following a specific church dogma, I found that I could leave the church and follow my own dogma and create my own boundaries and create my own way of looking at things. And actually, you know, it's funny because I just rejoined the organization, the religious organization recently. You know, I had been gone for a while, and it's funny because now, their dogma is the same; it hasn't changed. But the people look at it differently. They're a lot more like, well, okay, this is what you're doing. This is what we believe, but what you're doing is fine too. Yeah. And that really helps because, you know, all of a sudden now you have more acceptance and you have more leeway. And it's neat because you can come back and ask questions that you don't understand. And sometimes they actually have the answers for you, which like always blows my mind because it's like not registering up here, you know. So I'll talk to, you know, I'll talk to a pastor or I'll talk to one of the administrators. And, you know, sometimes it can get me at least in the right direction, especially when it comes to researching traditional seance, working with rescue circles. Cause I'm teaching a class now on cleansing. So, which I have some experience in traditional spirit rescue circles, but now it's, you know, they don't like poo-poo like another culture's way of doing things. My good friend Miss Aida sent me a whole cleansing kit, and she is like Santeria and hoodoo, you know, and I do go and I follow different ways of, you know, like some of my friends who practice voodoo, some of my friends who are in the craft. Everybody has a different way of doing things. So it's nice to be able to go and bring a lot of it together and it's like a toolbox, you know. Well, I can't get the screw out with this damn screwdriver. So guess what? I got a set of pliers that'll work just as fine, you know, just take me a little bit longer. So it's always nice to have a different way to look at it, or a fresh set. I always call it a fresh set of eyes. If something doesn't work here, then you can pull something else out, you know, and that's the way I like to do it. And it goes with everything. It goes with the development. It goes with especially like paranormal investigations. You know, because I don't know how many people I run into that they have. I call it duct tape on their butts. If it's because if they see it, they're emulating what they see on TV. And there's so many different ways you can do this. And you know, they get, you know, a lot of times now they don't do walkthroughs to, you know, check for hotspots, you know, naturally occurring like EMF hotspots and all that. They don't do that, and they just jump in there and they set up all this equipment, and you know, somebody may pass wind and all of a sudden the equipment goes off, you know, and everybody's going crazy. You know, we go now and we'll spend, before we do anything, I don't care if it's a new location or an old location or whatever, or if we're working as a cleansing, sit there for an hour. Just sit there and relax for an hour, acclimate yourself to it, just see what you're doing. And again, you guys know, I mean, there's so many different ways of doing things, man, you know, and that's what's the fun of it. And just go out there and just have fun.
Yeah, I mean, that's, you know, that's been a thing that's been bothering me for years, a long time. You know how people, they watch the shows and you know, emulate them like you're saying, and really, you know, a lot of the grassroots, the basic sort of things that should be implemented are like non-existent now,
right?
You know, and it's really too bad.
You know, I mean, and let's face it, everything that I'm doing is pseudoscience. You know what I mean? They're really, you know, you can borrow some stuff from science, but it's not really true science in that professional term. And you know, and I always go and I always say, you know, it's like, for me, it's part of my belief system, my own spirituality. So, you know, if I can go and not really stretch too far and get some kind of like an EVP that I can understand that actually might say something that relates to where I am or to the situation, so be it. I'm not going to go and I'm not going to worry about how it got there. I'm just happy the message is there.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, along with the paranormal side, and the one thing I know you're huge on is history.
Mhm.
And
What gave you that idea?
well, that even before I
Definitely not
saw
the
that,
pictures in the background.
yeah, no,
Yeah.
but I mean, like, yeah, it's well known. I mean, you're a big history guy, and now what do you what have you found through your experience? Say the percentage of being able to sort of link up history with what's happening on the paranormal sort of aspect through
Well, it's almost like
investigations
time
or what
tripping.
else.
First off,
Yeah,
it's like time tripping. When you start getting to this level,
yeah.
which is like the obsession level. Uh, sometimes you go to different locations and it just feels so fresh. You
Mhm.
walk there and it's almost like you can close your eyes and just see everything that walks around you, and
Yeah.
you can almost see the replay,
Mhm.
and that's wonderful. And history is all memories, is what it is. And I'm a firm believer in that. Once memories are gone, you will not get the heavy interaction
Yeah.
anymore.
Mhm.
You have to have an action to cause that reaction. And I think that by studying history and by keeping history alive, I really feel that allows us to have a little bit more of an alleyway to get, to be able to go in and perhaps experience or even get some kind of intellect. Yeah, well, be honest with you, let's intellectual conversation
Mhm.
with something intelligent that
Yeah.
may be a vibrational personality,
Mhm. Mhm.
and that's why I love it. And the other thing is that, I mean, these pieces that I have here, it's funny because everybody laughs because, the other side of the other side of the laptop is my unusual collection,
Mhm.
and they don't realize that the stuff on this side is a little bit more active than the stuff on that side. You know,
You like people to see the more tame side.
well, yes, this right here, this is the tame side. This people come in and go, wow, this is really neat,
Yeah, yeah.
and then when they're on the other side, they're like, oh, I don't know if I like this stuff. This is a little creepy. No, you want to see creepy? Let me open up that Foot Locker over there. I got something that's creepy.
Well, it's funny because Alex and I were talking about your Ouija board collection,
Oh yeah, I love my
and
weed.
the
And as a
and,
matter of fact, last night, that's what I was doing.
yeah.
There were students that would come up, and I was on I was on the stage actually, and
Mhm.
I had tables and chairs set up, and I had the Ouija boards out, and people came up, and I taught these kids how to properly open it, properly close it, how to properly work with a Ouija board, and that
Yeah.
was so cool, and it was great. So it's always nice to have a couple dozen extra Ouija boards just in case you need them.
Yeah.
I'll be honest with you, I haven't met a Ouija board that I haven't liked yet. So
Well, okay, so let's dive into that. So what's the most historic Ouija board you have?
the earliest one is a 1919.
Oh,
It's a fold
wow.
board made in Baltimore, and it's great. It's really just a
Wow.
it's it's when they started doing the the lithographic printing on it, and it's walnut veneer. It's just a beautiful little piece. I love those, and it's beat up. The more beat up a piece is, the better I like it, because then I
Better
know
use,
it's,
yeah.
oh my god, yeah, and it's got good vibes to it.
Yeah.
But my favorite piece, I got this. It's the Mystic Magic board, and it's got a little Swami on it, and it's beat up. Oh my god,
Oh,
this thing is
wow.
beat up. It's about yay big. It's from the early 40s. But the reason why I love it is because when you're done like contacting the spirits, you can flip it over,
Mhm.
and it's got a checkerboard on there, so you can play checkers, and it's got a little thing on each side that says use this as a lap table so you can eat your lunch on it too. So it's like multi-purpose. It's got 3 purposes, but I love it. Those are great. But I like the artwork too. A lot of it is that mystic, the far off East, and and a lot of these things were designed during the great, Carter and the pyramids and King Tut and all that. I love it. To me, I'm a sucker with that stuff. And I just find it totally fascinating. Just fascinating.
Alex, what's the oldest board you have?
Maybe 20 years old.
Hey, is that the Ghost with the purple ghost on it?
No, it was literally what I think who manufactured them? Was it Milton Bradley who manufactured them?
The ones that you got, the one that was made up in Salem?
Possibly.
Yeah, that's because
I know it was one of the ones that I think it was Milton Bradley who used to manufacture them, right?
Yeah.
But it was one of those boards.
Parker Brothers.
Parker Brothers. There you go.
Parker Brothers. Yeah.
And
so that's the one I have. And I have Steve. You remember Carnival Diablo?
Oh yeah,
right,
yeah.
Scott.
You gotta have those. You gotta have.
Oh
those.
Yeah, he had one made for his show, so I bought one from him. And the third one was the one I won at that Christmas party that you guys had. Or you won it, and then you gave it to me.
Yeah,
but a good guy he is.
I know, and it's funny because I love picking up little things like that. But we talked about this before. One thing that intrigues me, that I like, that I find is a sort of interesting trigger sort of object, and that's old Etch-a-Sketches.
We talked about that last
yes,
time.
we did.
And I immediately went on eBay and bought a used one. And I'm going to tell you what, I've used that, and I've had it actually move. I've made a line about about that much.
Yeah.
Once. So to me, I don't know how, I don't know why it moved, but it moved. And that was so awesome. And when I came after the show, I went and I'm telling my paranormal buddies, this is great because this is like the offshoot of the old chalkboards, and the precipitated paintings, and this is all great stuff. This is fantastic. What a great idea. You know what? I think like eBay must have like had a rush on like Etch-a-Sketches because all my buddies went out and bought them. But what a genius thing.
I know. I was sitting there thinking, it's funny because one of my I think it was my nephew, or no, my cousin had an old Etch-a-Sketch, and I'm like, that would probably be a great idea to use it. I went on to eBay, went and bought one. I think mine's from 65, I believe, 1965. The one I
got the old real thick red frame. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah, and I brought it to the Spruce Lane farmhouse, Alex, and it was wow. Okay, not a lot, but something.
And you know what? I don't. My whole thing is if I'm not one of these guys that's like looking for all the flash. If I get one little thing, one little tiny thing,
that's
I'm
perfect.
happy.
That's yeah, me too. Me too.
If I can get through the night without an EVP that says "F you, Tim," that's great for me.
Oh yeah.
Well,
exactly.
Those are so personalized.
Yeah, I like those. Well, what's funny is because I'm a with history and stuff. You see, look over here. You see the radio over there?
Mm-hmm.
That's my spirit box.
Oh wow, that's cool.
That's my thing. We 3 of us got together and we got all these old radios and stuff. And actually, this is a reproduction. This is a Harley Davidson commemorative.
Oh, okay.
And I picked it up cheap, dirt cheap, and so I didn't have to actually strip anything out of it. I just added all the fixings to make it a spirit box. So not only can I go and talk to spirits, but I can listen to AM, FM, and I can plug in a radio to it and use it as an external speaker. So this is like multi-purpose. So whenever I'm down here and I'm working, I turn it on, and it just I'm listening to trying to get some chatter. Every so often it's like I hear wrong, as I'm typing. Maybe I got to reread cool. that paragraph.
That is so cool. That is so cool. I find I find just little old knickknacks that can work so well.
Yeah.
And again, we just don't fully understand this, and I think if anything, historical sort of objects, such as the Etch a Sketch and whatnot, can sort of I don't know, blend in or sort of attract.
Well,
Uh,
everything's vibrational. You know
yes,
that everything's
yeah,
vibrational.
frequency, yeah,
Yeah. So what, if you're, if spirit is frequency and vibrations, it can actually, I feel it can interact more with, with the trigger object. Well, what we've been using is we've been using, with these, whatever side I'm on, with the spirit boxes, we've been using karaoke mics.
Oh,
And
really?
yeah, we've been using karaoke mics, the battery operated handheld.
Yeah.
And I think we've been actually able to get better responses through the scanners and spirit boxes with these
Yeah.
karaoke mics, rather than just, using your voice, which is vibrational. I think
Yeah.
it's because it like sort of, it forces it to become, more frequency
Mhm.
as it goes through the process and comes out its own speaker. So, I mean, that's something that we use, and it's a riot. And my buddy Joe, who I call as a mad scientist, he just created one, and he's got speakers on it, and he's got microphones on it. It's like, oh my God. But slowly but surely, it's as he's fine tuning it, it's starting to work.
Wow,
So, I
that's
mean,
cool.
it's just different. And that's why I like, I think that's the biggest problem, I think, with like the TV shows,
Mhm.
is that people don't, they don't take those ideas and they don't like make them their own. They don't think outside the box.
Yeah.
And, this is just stuff that you experiment with. And the bottom line is, if it doesn't work, maybe you're out $40. Spirit boxes are a little bit more expensive, of course. But
Yeah.
I mean, things that you're experimenting with, maybe you're out $40, $50 or whatever. That's like down here in the States, that's like 2 gallons of gas and a Slim Jim. So, but it's just one of those things that you just got to kind of work with it and play with it, and just keep keep, just log what you've been doing, and record what you've been doing, so that you don't repeat it. And maybe you want to go and you want to increase something. Maybe you want to go and cut, like your decimator down a little bit. You got to play with it. That's all. That's
Well,
the
yeah.
whole idea. Because there's and everybody, when you're working with this stuff, it attunes to you. And
Mhm.
the old spiritualists, we used to go and, like, for your, whatever, like, tools that you had, like your spirit trumpet, or the
Mhm.
slates, they said to sleep with it,
Oh,
because
really?
it would attune to you.
Oh, wow.
So needless to say that every so often, my wife will be doing, be making the bed up, and, like, one of my scanner radios will be stuck underneath, one of my pillows, or a new recorder is stuck underneath there. Oh, I shouldn't say new. I never buy anything like that new. I'm on eBay buying stuff that, well, okay, that recorder doesn't, let's see, that's about 20 years old. That doesn't have a lot of filters on it. I'm going to buy that one for $9.95. That's what I'm not going over 10.
Hey, it
But
works. It
that's,
works.
yeah, but I mean, I find that by attuning it to yourself, by doing that, for me anyway, might be psychological, because, as I'm not that right like you guys, but it to me, it seems like it's working just a little bit better, and we go out and we're working, different little places, and I'll go and I'll, review
Yeah.
all the blasts and stuff that I'm working with.
Mhm.
And it's like, wow, all of a sudden you're picking that stuff up, and you're picking stuff that might be a little bit lower, that you might not have gotten if you weren't,
Mhm.
like, attuned with, excuse me, the piece that you're working with.
Yeah.
So you never know. It's a mystery. That's the fun of what we do.
Exactly.
Hey Tim, have you ever tried automatic writing?
Yes. I've done both. I've done the freehand, which
Okay.
is just a pen in the hand.
Yeah.
And I've done the writing planchets, which is the original method of automatic writing. The planchet is like the Ouija board planchet with a pencil in it.
Okay.
So I've done both.
Any
And it's
success with that?
yeah, not it's I can actually do can actually work with it. A lot of times what it is, it's like a funnel coming from your head down to your hand, and it's like you just start writing with it. And a lot of times I'll be sitting there, just my eyes closed, and I'll just be like relaxing. I'll be listening to AC/DC probably. There's no mellow 70s music for this cat no more. Everything's got to be Metallica or something. But I mean, you'll get it, and you'll start getting that channeled work. And it's funny with the writing planche, because I can, a lot of times people are always saying, oh, you should have two people working with this stuff. I don't, it's not the way I was brought up. I can put both hands on it, and I can, it'll start moving, and I can start getting, something on it. Yeah. So you can do that. And it's really neat. It's just neat. And I buy like sketchbooks. I go and buy the cheapest sketchbooks I can find, and then that's what I use for it. Then I'm writing with it. Sometimes it's funny because I piss off like some of my mentors. When I'm in class with them, I'll be sitting there and they'll be talking, and I'll be watching her, and I'll have like on the seat next to me, I'll have a tablet and I'll have a pencil, and I see her I catch her looking at me, and I'm looking at her, and my hands going like this, it's like writing something. And later on, she goes, "Are you doing automatic writing again in my class?" I said, "Yeah." She goes, "You should be paying attention." I said, "I am paying attention. My hand isn't paying attention, but I am paying attention." But yeah, it's pretty neat. And like the old ones, some of the old ones could actually do it, with actually both hands. I mean, I've tried it with my left hand, and I've gotten some, success with it, but not to the extent of like my right hand. And I think that's because of the neural training that you do cognitively. If you're right-handed, you write with your right hand. So I think it's a little bit easier to do that in that way. So that's a fun way of doing stuff.
Do you have to like go into a trance state, but does it just come out, or do you have to kind of actually consciously
you just
put yourself in that mindset?
No, you just put yourself in the mindset. You can watch TV and do it. Because what you want to do is you want to go and just kind of like ignore stuff that's going on around you, or you want to focus in on something different and then work with it that way. Because, a lot of times the purists will go and they'll say, well, you have to go and, you got to be in that trance state, and you have to blah, blah, blah. And you have to, you have all these hurts and all this other stuff. And, I don't know. I just do it. It's something that, maybe because I've been been involved in this so long. And I also do trance mediumship up to a point. I'm not like a heavy duty guy doing it, but I do it up to a point. I think maybe because of that training that I had, that makes it all easier to do too.
That is so cool. And it's something I haven't tried. I haven't tried the writing at all, but it's always
try. Dude, you should try the planchette. It's pretty neat.
Yeah.
It's pretty neat. I buy them. The ones I got one from Oklahoma, and I got one from Great Britain, and then I made one.
Okay.
And I'm going to be honest with you, it's pretty neat. Use a softer lead pencil, like a number 8.
Yeah.
And just put your hands on there and just let it go. Just let it
Do
go.
Do you find the material that the planchette's made at makes a difference too?
Yeah, I don't use plastic, because I have one that's plastic here.
Yeah.
It's a commercial piece called Ghost Rider, and you can get them on eBay. I bought it for more of a collector's piece.
Yeah.
But I find that natural wood will really go, because now, like in Santeria, when you're doing candle work, you get the 7-day candles, and they have the prayers, but they'll have an opening. Like, let's say if you're praying for somebody or you're hexing somebody, which I've never done because you guys are just like too cool, so I'm not going to do that to you guys. But I mean, there's a space where you put a name into it, and you have to do it with natural lead. It has to be something that's more earthy or earth-like materials, rather than going and taking a ballpoint pen and writing it in there. So I believe that the wooden faced planchette with a number 8 pencil works the greatest. 7s are number 2 pencils are way too hard.
Too hard.
Yeah, and they're not going to show up, and sometimes they'll rip the paper depending what you're using. So you can buy number 8s at, Hobby Lobby or any art store, Hey, listen, I've been out hunting for this stuff, so that's
They
why I
got
know.
some cool shit in the Hobby Lobby, man.
Yeah,
I mean,
for,
I've
for a
been in
Christian,
there a
all,
couple
all I
times.
know is for a Christian store, I know so many craft
I
people that go
know.
in there and buy
Oh, yeah, there's a lot of cool,
bottles and all their
a lot of
tinctures.
cool stuff in there.
Yeah, they do.
And you know what? It's actually good. The prices aren't bad.
No, they're all good. And
Yeah.
and you know, if you're looking for especially something like that, uh, I mean, I don't want to go and buy, you know, a 20 pack of something. You know, I want one or two pencils. That's all I'm going to use. You know, I'm not going to destroy them in a month. So I'm able to go and do those. So yeah, as a matter of fact, when I was in Saginaw this last trip, I was walking distance to a Hobby Lobby, and I had to get a pencil sharpener because I didn't bring one with me because I had brought a planche with me. So I took a run over there and had to get it in the art department.
Kevin's got a question, but we'll get to the question after we take our halfway break. Interesting question, because he actually had an experience that was quite well. I guess we could sort of get into it. Let's get into it. Uh,
Sorry, I said we can ask the question. We can mull it over during the break.
Yeah, we could do that. So yeah, Kevin.
So I'll go with okay.
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
Well, so this is directed to you, Tim. Obviously, what would you think of the phone call? He had a phone call from his dad after he passed away on his mobile phone.
Mm-hmm.
The line wasn't connected.
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely. Everything is vibrational. Everything's frequency.
Yeah.
That actually I feel is more common than what people report. I have heard of probably about 20 cases. There is actually a book called Phone Calls from the Dead, or Calls from the Dead, it's called. And it really talks about that. And I'm going to be honest with you, in a meditation the one time, no, I take that back. My mother had a dream of my father after he passed away.
Yeah.
And in the dream, it was stated that he was learning how to manipulate electricity.
Mm-hmm.
Because electricity is so much easier to manipulate now for them than actually having to physically move things or you know, cause knockings and rappings and all that.
Mm-hmm.
And as someone who, you know, my mom had a stroke and she went down to recover with her sister, I'd go over to her house and I was having work done and all this other stuff, getting it all vamped up, and I had the phone ring, picked it up, nothing.
Wow.
Star 69 to see who called, nothing. You know, I've had the doorbells ring. At Christmas time, we always, when we went to an aunt's house, we used to hear the doorbell ring all the time there, and there would be nobody at the doors. So yeah, I believe that they can manipulate electricity and frequency a lot easier. And I've also heard, I haven't examined it or actually heard the recording, but someone on an old answering machine,
oh wow,
with the micro cassettes,
yep,
got a message after death from a loved one.
That's crazy.
So yeah, so I mean, yeah, Kevin, dude, consider yourself one of the blessed ones to get something like that. That's absolutely awesome. That's awesome. And I firmly believe that it's possible.
I've got a few experiences I want to run by you too, like in the second half, that get your thoughts on that and much more. Yeah, we'll take a quick break here. So don't go anywhere, folks. You're listening and watching Nocturnal Frequency Radio here on the New Visions Radio Network, and of course on our YouTube channel. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with Mr. Tim Shaw. And welcome back to Nocturnal Frequency Radio here live on the New Visions Radio Network. And of course, simulcasting on our YouTube channel. Welcome back, folks. And welcome back, Tim.
Well, hello, guys. You guys caught me. It's funny because in between, I have gotten so many messages and emails that every chance I get, I'm trying to answer as much as I possibly can today. So it's like, oh, you guys are on. You guys are beautiful. Hold on.
Attested to how busy you are, sir.
Well, I don't know. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. That's why we retired, so I could slow down. But now I physically have to slow down this for a couple months anyway.
Yeah, just taking it easy and sort of regrouping, refreshing, and that's good.
Well,
That's good.
I'm working on my bucket list. I
Yeah.
got that. I got 2 more books that are both of them are 3/4 done. I just haven't gotten to sit down and finish them, and so I want to get those done. And there's so many different little things that I'm planning on doing, and so you know what it's like.
I struggling with one book, and here you are with a couple. What the heck? What's the secret?
The secret is I've had these two books in the works for almost 2.5 years, and I just haven't gotten around to finishing them. It's one is one is like a second volume to my regional book, my my Ghosts of Buffalo.
Mhm.
So I've got all that done. I have actually all the research and I have all the photography done for a haunted Seaway Trail book, which goes along the Great Lakes in New York State,
Oh, cool.
going up into the Adirondacks area.
Nice.
So I have that's all done, but I just have to sit and write it. I have to put it, put it in some kind of order. I have a book that I'm actually working on. It's more, I call it a fluff book, but I think it's a little bit more poignant now. I started it with COVID because a lot of people couldn't afford a lot of things. People were starting to get hard up for money, and it's paranormal investigators. They were just like, oh my God, and locations get a little expensive. And so it was sort of a how to go on a family paranormal day trip, a one tank getaway, and what to take, and what to pack, and all the good stuff, make a lunch, and try to save money
Gonna
everywhere
need
you
it
can.
now.
Oh yeah,
God.
really. But listen, I'm naturally cheap, so I don't have to worry about that stuff. I'm Scottish, guys. I'm Scottish. Let me tell you, that wallet, when it opens, I mean, I can hardly see, where I'm paying because all the moths come out. But yeah, I mean, so just ideas, just different ideas of what to do, or even if you stay overnight. I mean, there's so many different ways, so many different things that you can actually cook in a room, and get away with it, and not have the smoke detectors go off on you. But I mean, there's so much that you can actually do, and you take advantage of it rather than, spending for a family of four. You're going to end up spending, like $40-$50 on on a meal. So you can use that for, you can take that money and earmark it for gas, and go to a place that might be interesting, and how to do all your research on the internet, what to look
Mhm.
for. And
Yeah.
you don't always have to go, like, to a well-known location to, how to work, to get any kind of a paranormal investigation or get your paranormal fix.
And I've found, and not all the time, but I mean, I've found that when I've gone to some of these well-known locations, I've been kind of disappointed.
Fished out. A lot of times they're fished out.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and I've found that just the smaller the lesser known locations seem to be more vibrant.
right. Now,
You know,
don't get me wrong. When I was watching when all the ghost shows first went on there, I was
Mhm.
like, oh my God, I have to go to Waverly. I've been to Waverly 4 times,
Yeah.
One time was spectacular. The other 3 times, well, it's like walking. Once you walk through an old asylum, you've
Mhm.
walked through them all.
Yeah.
I mean, the walls are the same, the doorways the same, everything seems to be the same. So if you can go and you can find just really neat places just to visit, they're really great. Now, like here in New York State, we have a thing. It's by the travel bureau here, haunted the haunted trails of New York or something it's called.
Mhm.
And it's all over the place. It's all over New York State, and it's not always just places that that you have to rent out. Some
Mhm.
places you can actually go visit and just see it, or it's something unusual, or it's maybe a little bit lower value, museum that you pay to walk into. So there's so much there. Plus, on top of it,
There's
there's battlefields
Oh
that
yeah.
you can walk on all. Oh, you guys know, man,
Yeah.
1812 up by you guys, it's crazy. uh you got all this, you got battlefields that you can stop at. You can
Yeah.
there are poor farm cemeteries. You can and it doesn't have to be nighttime to investigate. You can take your recorders and see what you get. My buddy got a great EVP at a poor farm cemetery, an almshouse, same thing,
Mhm.
cemetery. It said I'm cold. That was neat. That was neat to hear
You
that.
know, you
And that
know,
was during the day.
Hey, speaking of Alex, do you have that one loaded up? I want Tim to hear this. It's freaky that you said that. Do you know what you want to talk about, Alex?
Refresh my memory because
The
I gotta reload it up.
the forest one.
Okay, hang on.
You played it the other night.
Yeah, I know.
I want to get Tim's take on this. We're not going to say anything, and we want your thoughts, Tim.
For stuff like that, I should have the muffs because I can't hear anything with these things anyway.
Oh no!
I'm lucky I'm hearing you guys. But yeah,
Oh
okay.
really?
I'll see what I can hear. I get off of it.
Hang on, I gotta find it first.
Okay. It's funny that you said that because speaking of an old abandoned pioneer cemetery, where this was captured. And this, several things have happened in this place, and I'm telling you, just it's incredible. But this is one of the more notorious ones that were, captured
People
there.
Okay,
people don't
I got
get
it going.
Oh, excellent. I want to
Okay.
hear it.
Okay.
Hang on.
I'll check, go around and ask some questions and we'll see what happens.
Oh, okay.
So just level to the ground like this.
Yeah, just make sure.
Play it again.
I'll check, go around and ask some questions and we'll see what happens.
Oh, okay.
So just level to the ground like this.
Yeah, just make sure.
What was that? Like that sound? It
Okay.
sounded
So I'll give you the scenario.
Okay.
You have a guy talking initial speed talk,
right.
and they're talking about dowsing.
Mm-hmm.
And we're right inside this small abandoned pioneer cemetery, and then you'll hear a woman sort of respond to him, and
Right.
he kind of chimers in a little bit, and as he's doing it, you'll hear something above them both.
Above it. Right.
Yeah.
That was neat. It's
Yeah.
that was a neat sound. See, the first time you played it, I
Yeah.
thought it was the woman. But
Yeah.
then when you listen to it again, you hear that frequency, you hear that difference. It like
Yeah.
dips and then it raises, kind of
Yeah.
peaks, rather than a voice that's smoother.
Yeah. You want to play it again there, Alex?
Hang on.
I'll check, go around and ask some questions and we'll see what happens.
Oh, okay.
So just level to the ground like this.
Yeah,
That's
just make sure.
awesome. Holy shit. Excuse me. That's
That's fine. That's fine.
That's awesome. That's awesome to get that. I love getting stuff like that.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
And it's funny. I don't think I ever played this for you either. And I'm not sure if we played this for you the last time, but let me know.
No,
Because
I don't think you did, because that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool.
Let me play this for you. Just let me load it up here. I want to get your take on this. Where are we? Okay. Now what you're hearing is the videographer going through the house before we go up and before we start the investigation. I always have somebody document the area visually. And what you're hearing is you hear us downstairs, you hear people downstairs. He's upstairs in the bedroom area, the bedroom level, and he centers in on this portrait, this oil portrait of a little girl,
right,
which is called Cherry Ripe. And as he's panning in on this thing, you hear something right there with him.
Now, that was not a woman doing the little song.
Exactly. Was it?
Holy crap!
I'll play it for you again. Look,
that is awesome, because because the first thing that's not being there.
Yeah.
Not being there.
Yeah.
It sounds as if someone like a woman was singing a song, trying to get like something to happen, to trigger it.
Yeah.
But it's that's crazy. That's neat.
I'll play it one more time for you.
Wow. Is she speaking French?
See, that's what a lot of people are thinking French, but I can't. I've asked a few people who are like, my French is horrible, but
Well, you've got
I've
the two different types of French. You know, you've
yeah,
got modern French, and you've got one that's an older dialect. Because, like
yes,
up at
yes,
old Fort Niagara, when
yeah,
the Ghost Lab people were there, they had an interpreter that
mhm,
actually knew some of the old French, linguistics, and
yeah,
that's what I was wondering if that may have been like,
an
used,
old French song or an
yeah,
old like a nursery rhyme, perhaps. It's just fascinating because it's really weird because that was the very first time that we had been in this place. I think was 2009. I think it was something like that. And I remember going through that footage and not seeing that at all, not experiencing that. And then I took it out of the archives 10 years later because I was working on a documentary for the 10th anniversary for this particular location, for a presentation for them. And I'm watching this and I'm like, holy crap. What the
that's
hell?
neat. That's neat.
Am I hearing
That's neat.
this?
That is
And
beyond
I'm
neat.
hearing this, you know?
That's sweet. Oh my God, guys, that is so sweet.
Yeah, but
That was
let
sweet.
let me tell you, it's a very intriguing place. Like, Alex, you've been there, and you had your experience, little odd
Yep.
experience there.
Yeah, that's when I got sick, or I was sick, and I got even worse when we went in there. And
Oh,
it was just one of those things where I was already feeling ill, so I was like, okay, I just chalked it up to it being me getting worse.
What?
And what's that?
No, go ahead.
Oh no, I was just saying. Then once we finished the investigation, we went back outside. I started getting better already.
And
Right, so it was just kind of weird scenario.
it's weird, Tim, because there was another guy who went on a different occasion, started feeling a little weird in that exact part where
hmm
Alex was feeling it.
yeah. I mean, people don't realize that if you have the right makeup, this
Yeah.
stuff can turn around and affect you physically.
Yeah.
And it make you sick. I mean, I've been in places where it's been nauseous, and a lot of times you walk into just one room and it's like
Mhm.
major ick factor and stuff. So yeah, I mean that's positively. And here's the other thing: if you had stayed in there even longer, let's say you tried to sleep in there, can you imagine what you would felt like in the morning?
Yeah,
Exactly.
You know,
Exactly.
probably like a big bag of shit.
yeah,
Yeah.
or I mean, it could be environmental,
Mm.
where it could be like allergies or some kind of mold or whatever, and that's all stuff that you have to kind of take into consideration. But
Exactly.
but if you can go and you can eliminate a lot of things out of there, eliminate as much as you can,
Well,
and
what's
take everything as a whole.
yeah.
You might have something really going on there.
Well, it's intriguing because on another occasion in that particular location, we had somebody who brought in a special field meter,
hmm
and it was going off the charts in that particular area. Now, when we went around looking for a source, there was no source
Right.
that was caught. We could not figure out what
Yeah.
was causing that spike,
Yeah.
you know?
And that's why the trimeters. Nobody buys trimeters. Have you noticed that nobody uses trimeters anymore?
I know that most people are like, what's that?
I remember that was like the standard thing, like Mel meters. You have to have a trimeter. You bought a
Yeah.
tri you bit the bullet and you bought a trimeter before you bought a K2. And
Yeah,
and actually they were in use way before K2s. So,
exactly.
I mean, they don't use it. And that, to me, what I like about it, because it measures even human fields,
Mhm.
and so this way you can get a ballpark, and then you can go and you can get the anomaly. And that's what's
Exactly.
cool about that. And if you can start getting repeatability on that, and let's face it. I mean, our bodies are we're all vibrational.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You get something that like that can that'll screw up your gallbladder for sure. That's
yeah. I mean, a lot of people don't realize how many different frequencies
Yeah.
are, around you constantly.
Well, look at the problems that I believe it's at the U.S. Embassy in Cuba.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Right there,
And
yeah.
you see the long-term effects that sometimes some of these people that work there they
Mhm.
have,
Mhm.
and they've gone through these buildings with fine-tooth combs, and they can't find any
Yep.
source. They can't find anything. The only thing they can figure is it's some kind of waves being shot at it. And
Mhm.
again, this is all conspiracy theory and stuff, but
Yeah.
you don't know what kind of vibrations will affect you and how it affects the body. Every time, let's face it, every time there's a sunspot, you
Mhm.
got people going a little batty. Every time you got a full moon and the tides are affected, you've
Mhm.
got people getting a little batty.
Yep.
So if that is on a smaller scale, can you imagine on something that's a lot finer and a lot tighter?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
that's something that's pretty crazy. All I got to
Yeah.
say is, Alex, stay the hell out of there.
Yeah.
That's it. That's it. Like this.
But
Hey, Steve will go like this. Alex, go in that room. Just go like this. Ain't happening today, and it ain't
Yeah.
looking good
Exactly.
tomorrow, Steve. Got news for you.
He's got to go in
Well,
there for me.
well, it's odd because I mean, normally Alex is a ghost at Torrent.
That's right.
you, you got some sort of activity in your home. Ask Alex; he'll clear it for you.
All I got to do is show up.
He just has to show up.
Some
Yeah.
people are like that. It's
Yeah.
funny, but some people are like that. It's
Yeah.
almost as if they're like the wet blanket on the fire. They walk in.
Exactly.
That's it.
That's pretty much the story of my life when it comes to the paranormal.
So long as it's not like your love life, okay? That's
Oh.
all I'm going to tell you. Let's
Yeah.
just make sure it only stays in one arena, Alex. One arena only.
My blanket upstairs is wet, but for another reason.
He does. Yeah.
Wait till you get to my age.
He doesn't have to worry about bringing anything home, right?
That's right.
Right. That's right.
Too much.
Oh, you
Too
guys
much.
are funny.
But okay, so you've got a lot of stuff coming up. But you said you're scaling back, but yet you still have some stuff coming up. And TV shows. I mean, you were talking about Portal, doing a couple episodes of that.
Yeah, actually, yeah. And I was in they put me up. You'll love this story because this is me in a nutshell, guys.
Yeah.
They put me up in New Jersey, right?
Mhm.
Go to New Jersey, blindfold me. I don't know how long. We must have driven for about 20, 30 minutes. Had no clue
Yeah.
where the hell they're taking me.
Yeah.
Get out of the car. They take me into this place blindfolded. I never knew I was in Staten Island. Never knew. Never knew until I was interviewing Katrina on my show, and I said to her off, "Where the hell were we?" And it was like Cretan. I can't even remember the name of the manor. It started with a K. It's an old neat old Victorian home.
Yeah.
And she goes, "No, we were in Staten Island." Not a clue. Not a freaking clue. So this is me in a, you know what, you could like kidnap me and like take me someplace and say that we're in Pennsylvania and actually like be like 2 towns over and I'd probably believe you. Really. And what's silly is, you're getting you catch the drive back to your hotel, right?
Yeah.
So you're not blindfolded. Do you think I would have seen a welcome to New York State sign anywhere? No, never saw anything, so that just gives you an idea of how that was my mindset in that one. But the other one is a little place, and I'm going to say what it is, but I can't really tell a lot about it. It was a little church that was turned into a home.
Oh, wow.
And it's a goth couple, and there's a lot to it, but it's a really neat little place, and that'll be I'm not sure when they'll play that. I know that the one just played last, not this past Sunday. What day is today? Today's Sunday.
Mhm.
Last Saturday it played,
Last Saturday.
and I'm not sure when this one. I think it might be the very last episode of the season, but that was really neat. And it's I love working with them. They're just really fun people to work with, and Jack is just Jack. Like I say, Jack is funny. I mean, some of the stuff he comes up with, and you sit there and you're like, what? Here, this is my favorite Jack Osborne story.
Okay.
So we get all done at this location, this last
Yeah.
location I was at,
Mhm.
and the PA says to me, Tim, would you mind jumping in, go back to the hotel? Jack's going back to the hotel.
Yeah.
I'm thinking to myself, I'm going to friggin' drive with Jack Osborne. He's going to drive me back to the hotel. And in the back seat is one of the execs from his production company.
Mhm.
So we're all talking and stuff. And he looks at me really serious. And he goes, Tim, I got a question to ask you. I'm going, uh-oh. He goes, hey, you live in the snow belt. What kind of snowblower do you use? Here I am, paranormal TV show. We're taping this thing.
What kind of
Jack
snowblower?
Osborne, the crown prince of dark, the prince of darkness now, the heir apparent, and we're talking about friggin' snowblowers.
Snowblowers.
It's like, okay, that's great. But no, that's just the way he is, and he's funny, and they do a nice job, and they, what, and I appreciate, how they work with the psychics, and how they, kind of, they have a history. They use the history of these locations, and they allow the psychics actually to do their job, not try to pigeonhole the psychics into what they're looking for.
Yeah, and you're saying, I mean, it's not like Jack is stupid with this shit. He's well versed on this.
Yeah, he is.
There's a reason why he's doing this show. Why he's a long-standing interest in it.
Yeah.
So,
and plus he lived in a haunted house back in England, with his family.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, he lived in it. So he had exposure to it when he was younger. And he still has some exposure to it, not when we're on camera, off camera. And I think he's got some stuff that still goes on. But he's I just appreciate the fact that he knows, he knows what he's looking for.
Yeah.
He understands a lot of the different philosophies that and theories behind it. And it's funny because he'll pull something out and throw it at me, and I'll be like sitting there going, wait a minute. Okay, Jack, not to sound stupid, but break this one down for me. Not sure on this one, but he's very good. And you know what I mean? He doesn't talk down to you. Some people do. I'll be honest with you. Some people in the industry do talk down to you.
Oh yeah.
But he's not one of them. He's just a nice guy. Just a nice guy.
Yeah, I mean, I've worked with some pretty evil people in the industry.
To say at least, yes.
Yeah, but I mean, some of the people that I've worked with, and like I said, I think some of the one of the most nerve-wracking experiences I had was working alongside David Carradine.
Oh, really?
And, yeah, I mean, I was nervous as shit, man. I'm telling you, oh my God, this guy's a fucking icon. This is wow.
Oh yeah.
Kung fu and everything else, and I'm like, wow, I'm working with this guy. But I'll tell you, man, he was the most down to earth guy. He was just wow. Like, he was so easy to work with. I mean, the guy's off the wall, don't get me wrong, but he's so down to earth in so many ways, how he interacts with people.
And I think that, somebody gave me advice many years ago.
Yeah.
And it was never be above anybody on the crew. Never be above anybody. No. And there's some, I hate to call them one-hit wonders, because I've been blessed because for whatever reason, I get pulled into different situations. I have no idea how the hell I get pulled into them. But like somebody would be on, get like that 20 or 30 second soundbite on a show, and they act mightier than thou. And it's like, no, I mean, you're no better than anybody else. And if you work with people and you try to do the best that you can do,
Yeah.
they respond so much better to you. And that's
Oh
what
yeah.
that's what I try to do. And and believe me, you got those cameramen. If they hate you, they're gonna go and like show.
You're gonna make you
They're
look
gonna
good.
show the hair in your nose
You're gonna
coming
make you
out.
look good. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I don't want like going upstairs. And I don't want them like to concentrate on my butt as I'm like walking up my flat ass butt going up these stairs. Make you look bad. Show those Molson scars in the top of my head where I stopped 16 ounces or something. You don't want to show those things. But no, I mean, if you work with them and you really you really try,
Mhm.
and you try to follow your instructions without compromising yourself, they appreciate it. And then sometimes they call you back, and that's the way it is, or they recommend you or whatever. And that's how I've gotten,
Well,
as far
yeah.
as I have. Believe me, it's not on sheer handsomeness or talent. That's for
Well,
sure.
you know what, Tim? That's the thing. When you work with a crew, they like you, they will recommend you. They'll
Yeah,
ask you back to do another project or whatever, and it snowballs from there. It really does.
it does. And
Yeah.
one of the worst things that happened to me was last year. I didn't contract COVID at all,
Mhm.
but I got an upper respiratory that was so bad I had to go
Mhm.
in.
Yeah.
So I got these antibiotics, but I never took care of my stomach, and they destroyed me.
Oh wow.
I was supposed to go and be on a shock dock,
Okay.
and I had to cancel it. I
Mhm.
could not get on a plane. I was at the emergency room for like 12 hours.
Oh wow.
I
Yeah.
knew I was in trouble when the nurse said, "Mr. Shaw, it'll be about 15 to 20 minutes before the morphine starts to take effect." I knew I was messed up at that point. And so when the producer asked me, "Is there somebody that I could recommend?"
Mhm.
And I'm like, "Oh, and then I thought, no, you know what? I'm gonna recommend them somebody
Mhm.
that I know will do a great job, and she needs that little push. And she's a great author. My friend Miss
Mhm.
Aida, and she's
Mhm.
Centuria, and
Yeah.
how I just love her to death. I just love her to death. She's so talented, and her books are great. So I recommended her. She was the perfect fit, and I can tell you right now that she knocked it out of the ballpark. When
Nice.
I talked to everybody, they
Yeah.
said she did a great job. And you know what? It made me feel good because I don't think I could have done it as good as she did. And that's the way you work it, everybody appreciates it. And
Yeah.
you just try to be a nice person, That's
Mhm.
that's the bottom line, You can be
Yeah.
a putz like me, but you can at least be a nice person about it.
Uh, yeah, that's cool. I mean, it's yeah, it's amazing. Like I said, working with some of these people are just you have some great moments,
Oh yeah. And
and
it's phenomenal, and it's
yeah,
what I call those are my personal experiences.
hmm
Those are those peak experiences that first of all, Alex, Steve, this is a peak experience working with you guys. I'm not lying. This is like really cool. I always love that. And I always think to myself, who the hell am I? Why would they want to talk to me of all people, And to me, it's like always an honor that somebody wants to work with you, or somebody wants to interview you, or like you're at a con and they ask you, hey, you get like, my buddy Johnny Zaffis or Chip
hmm
Coffee. Hey, we're heading to lunch. You
yeah.
want to come with us? And you stand there and go, yeah, you're sitting at the table like afraid that you're gonna like drop a piece of lettuce or something. They're gonna judge you on it. But
Do I got something in my chin?
yeah, But I mean, I never thought in a million years, that I would ever, you know, be interviewed or do a little bit of TV, or I never thought or write books or get anything published, or I mean, I never ever thought I would ever do anything like that. I just figured I'd serve churches and
I
fade off into retirement someplace.
I don't think anyone when they're in a sort of situation such as yourself and even me to an extent doing this thinks about doing the circuit or going out and
Hmm.
guest speaking or doing a TV show or doing this or doing that. I mean, the one thing that I always enjoyed was going into schools.
Yeah.
I really enjoy it. Like I haven't done it a lot, but I've done it a couple times, and I absolutely love going into a school and having, doing a like little presentation and
Mhm.
getting their response and their questions. And a lot of them are so articulate and so
Oh my God, yes.
intrigued. Yeah.
Yes.
You
I
know?
just did a couple weeks ago, I did a library program. It was an after school library program
Yeah.
for kids. And they asked me to speak on cryptozoology. And so I'm thinking
Mhm.
to myself, I don't know, I know enough about it. I've got Bigfoot casts. I got all this stuff I can bring in for show and tell. I know enough about what, you know, enough about it. So I'm thinking to
Mm.
myself, well, yeah, I'll do it. Dude, I had a little me in the audience. It was me at his age. And his hand was up. He was so enthusiastic. He's like spouting off the Latin name for these dinosaurs. I'm
And
like
you're like,
looking
"Oh
at him.
my god."
I'm like, holy crap. And, I mean, of course, they're younger, like 13 and under. At that age, everybody's ADHD. Out
Mm.
of 20 people, 15 kids stayed.
Yeah.
And they were like enthralled with it. And
Mhm.
at the end of it, and you know, I went home, and as I'm driving home, I thought to myself, this is what we should be doing. This
Mm.
is what it's all about.
Mhm.
Never mind going and talking to a group of people who have paid money, and nothing wrong with that. But I mean
Mm.
that have heard you speak already 1,000 times.
Mhm.
Uh, they're maybe a little bit more jaded, but to go and feel that enthusiasm
Mm. It
by kids just
revigorates
like,
you.
yeah. And I mean, I felt so great after that.
Mhm.
And I just thought, yeah, that's I'm gonna look into doing a little bit more of that. Plus, on top of it, I'm in my bed by midnight. I'm not in a hotel room someplace where I'm hearing gunshots outside. And I got the lights off, so I don't want to make a moving target on the curtains.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's such a great feeling, and it's amazing some of the questions. And you know you just try to be straightforward and
Right,
say, look at,
right.
you don't want to burst a bubble or anything like that, because I mean, depending on how kids are, but some of them are, again, are brought up on these TV shows,
Yep.
and they will sort of gear or veer into that sort of niche and ask you questions. Well, is it really like TV? And you have to say, well, I'd like to say it is, but it's a lot more interesting.
Well, no,
And
you have to put a positive spin on it. You
yeah,
never go and you never want to go and just like, crush any of these kids' dreams,
no,
because
no, no,
you
no.
want to be able to go and say, you know, this is it's fun. It's amazing to do this stuff.
It can be
It's a
fun,
little
yeah.
it's the only difference is you have to have a lot more patience than what they have on TV,
Exactly.
and it takes a lot longer because it's a little
Exactly.
edited out.
Mhm.
But yeah, when it happens, it's like, oh my God. The best story of this little kid, right? So we're talking, and I said, I got a chance. He was talking about Bobo LaFay,
Mhm.
one of the crypto guys,
Yeah.
the big dude, and I said, I got a chance to meet him. He goes, you met him? His jaw dropped. I mean, he's like, oh my God, and to us, he's just like one of us. And Bobo recorded a greeting for my wife
Yeah.
where he did a Bigfoot call. So I
Okay.
played it for him.
Mhm.
Oh my God. You know what? Like the kid was like on like a cloud nine. And that is what really it's all about.
Mhm.
It's trying to instill that wonderment that we had
Yep.
when we were younger to the subject that we're working with now. Find that mystery, keep that mystery alive,
Mm.
and just keep working at it, and just stay positive with it and just keep working with it. And I just love that. I just love that. And even like the little last library thing I did, it was only supposed to be an hour. I was there for almost 2 hours. And the second part was just answering adult questions,
Yeah.
and that
Mhm.
was great, and that's what it was so refreshing because people don't get that anymore,
Yeah.
people, it's kind of you know, if you go to a con, you're on the other side of the table, which kind of sucks.
Yeah.
Well, I'm never. Here's a hint: if you guys come to see me at a con, forget it. You'll never see me at my table.
Yeah.
My goal is to be outside. I'm wandering. You know, I'm
Wandering
running
around.
around. I'm
I'm
kissing
the same
babies and
way.
shaking
Yeah.
hands, man. I
I'm
love
the
that.
same way. I like to. I'm in awe of everybody else.
Yeah, definitely.
Everybody else there. No, I don't. Me, I'm nobody. I'm just going over there.
Yeah, well, that's the way I am.
Hey,
You know, it's like
there's Tim Shaw. I want to go see. You know,
all you'll see is a flash. You'll see a blur with me. Vroom. Get out of my way. I'm
Yeah.
over. Listen, I'm over 60. I got to hit the men's room. Talk to you a little bit.
Trevor has a question in chat, Tim. He says, "Who's your favorite doctor / professor in the Bigfoot world?" His is Grover Krantz.
I'm trying to think now. Who? Jeff Meldrum. Jeff is an amazing. He's an amazing author. He's got so many different things going on. It's really great. His books are phenomenal, and I've learned so much from him.
Is there much stuff like Bigfoot wise in the Western New York area, or even New York State?
If you start going down towards Pennsylvania,
Yeah,
in the Allegheny in the Allegheny Reserve,
yeah.
there's a lot there. There is a lot there. You know, and then like Western Pennsylvania as you're heading down, there's a lot going on there. But I will say, like in this area, there's like more of a like the Mothman phenomenon, the aerial phenomenon.
Really?
Yeah, that we've run into, and also we've run into some Dogman stuff.
Well, I mean, that's pretty spread out. I think the Dogman sort of scenario. I mean, you know, you look at Michigan; it's huge in Michigan, and
yeah,
I believe here in Ontario, you got some stuff going on, and as well, it's intriguing to hear that you have it going on down there. Interesting.
Yeah. Oh no, yeah, there is. Every so often, there's something that comes into Western New York, but usually it's, you know, it's more in your, it's more towards you're heading towards the Rochester, New York area, which is east of the Buffalo area.
Yeah.
You'll get more there. You had a lot of UFO stuff back in the 60s and early 70s down in Pennsylvania, like in Presque Isle, just below Erie, Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
But there still is a lot of stuff that goes on now down in that Allegheny. The Allegheny National Forest, the reserve, is a very, very wooded old growth area, and there's a lot of stuff that goes on over there. And I have some, like I said, I have some friends in Western Pennsylvania and going into Virginia area. That place, that's hot. You know, Fayette County down there, that's hot. You know, so yeah, there's there's a hotbed.
So they go, hey, Tim, would you like to go on a Bigfoot hunt?
I'm there. I can't walk as far as I used to, and I have to take more frequent stops, but I'll still be there. I'll still go. You know, and if I could get a if I could get somebody to carry a folding chair for me, I'm even better.
Well, yeah, and you know, you should bring, because you do a lot of drumming too, right? Do you still do that?
Yeah, I'd have, you know, this year it's just starting. It's just starting now. So we'll be heading out to the beaches. We'll be doing some drumming, and there's a lot of different little areas that have opened up for it. So I can't wait. All my drums are right behind me below my writing desk, and all my stuff that I make. I can't drum worth a crap. I'm terrible at it. I can't hold a rhythm if you paid me, but I make a joyous noise. You know, I can do like a lot of, like, you know, just like, I'll just do a rhythm behind everybody, or I'll shake a shaker or something, or a rattle.
Shake a shaker.
You know? But it's fun. It's fun. And it's also, you know, it's also trance inducing, and it's also really great mentally. And
yeah, I was going to say,
you feel so great after it.
Like, yeah, I was going to say that it's soothing, and it sort of puts you in a different state of mind.
Yeah,
that is so cool.
I love it. And you know, and I know that a lot of cultures do use it for trance induction. And it's funny because if you have a longer session and it's very repetitive,
yeah,
you know, it's one of those ones where it's a beat that's very, very repetitive. I find myself slipping a little bit, and you're out on the beach and, it's sunny out and, and you can hear the water, the waves lapping against the shore and you're just sitting there drumming away, and all of a sudden it's like, and then it's like, oh, we stopped, okay, we're back.
Oh, that's awesome. Well, my friend, it was amazing to have you back on.
You know what? It's an honor. Thank you guys. Seriously, it's always an honor, and you guys just humble me by asking me to come back on, and I'm just so happy that you guys asked me, and it's always good to chat with you guys, because you guys sometimes come up with you are the man with the Etch-a-Sketch, and I have myself and about 20 Western New York paranormal guys have you to thank for like raiding eBay for all of those.
Damn, I can't get any more. They're all gone.
Yes. What can I tell you?
Maybe I gotta hit up maybe a Facebook Marketplace now.
One never knows.
Who knows?
One never knows.
Tim, get your information out there for people who might want to find Tim.
I don't know if anybody really wants to find me, but you can usually find me at a pizza place. But I mean, other than that,
I was going to say, where are the pictures of those famous big slices of pizza?
Because I've been going in the other direction.
Oh,
so
really?
I haven't been able to route myself completely back through Batavia, without having to take like a 15-mile detour.
So it's a Batavia where that big big
Batavia, New York. It's Batavia original, and they usually have a big blow up King Kong on top of the building. Ooh. So that's what first like brought us to it,
Oh, really?
So we were visiting the cemetery down the street. There's a Confederate major who was killed at the Battle of Antietam in 1862, and his body actually was smuggled up here to family and buried in that cemetery. And so we were in there, and I was showing my buddy that, and we're driving down the road, and we're going to go for lunch, and I looked up, and he goes, "Hey, is that a great big monkey up there?" I said, "Yeah, that's Kong." "Well, let's stop for a slice." Well, I didn't know that the slice was the size of my head, but
awesome.
You guys can find me at Facebook. My website is timothytshaw.com. Usually I have some of my upcoming events or whatever I'm doing on there, but also Tuesday night, 7:00.
Yes.
On Facebook, Black Cat Lounge. We brought that back during COVID, and I'm still kind of doing it. And I don't even know who I'm going to have on Tuesday. I'm going to probably maybe just have me, myself, and I on there. Those are the 3 best guests that I can ever have. Most interesting people I know. So, and we have it at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And we have it, I repeat them on Curious Realms, which is a little network that my buddies and I have put up. I do have a Black Cat Lounge Facebook page that I'll post it on. Also, if you guys want to listen just to the audio, I stripped the audio off and I put it on Spotify.
Nice.
So you can find Black Cat Lounge on Spotify too, and you can just like hear my melodious voice as I slowly put you to sleep as I'm trying to go and explain.
I would argue it's a trance, not sleep.
It's a trance. You are in my power. Now I want it's like the Soupy Sales. The Soupy Sales. Everybody go into your father's wallet and send me $1. It's better than GoFundMe. Are you kidding me or what?
Exactly. It's the modernized version of it. Yes,
that's exactly it.
Awesome.
Well, you guys, seriously, thank you so much. I really love talking with you guys, and you guys are really, top shelf. Always, you guys are always top shelf.
As are you, Tim.
I used to be top shelf. Now I'm just amusing on Friday nights.
No, always a blast having you on, and you know what? We look forward to having you back.
Anytime, guys. Anytime. And I've got to apologize. I'm so sorry that like the way my schedule was, it was so hard to get on.
We got it done, and hey, you're helping us. Wave goodbye to this 14th season.
14
so that's
years.
good. Yeah, 14 seasons. Yeah. So.
Oh God.
I know it's been fun. It's been a blast. It's been interesting. And you know what? We look forward to the next season.
That's it. That's the way it is. Because onward, upward, and find the mystery and the curiosity and everything that's going along with it. Because why? It keeps us young. It keeps us young and handsome, especially Alex. Alex is very handsome. Just let you know. You know, he's the strong silent type, but
I
he's very
yeah.
handsome. He's
He
very
I only
actually-
speak when spoken to.
Actually, Tim, you've gotten a lot more out of him than most others have.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just kidding.
I feel pretty good, man.
Anyways, my friend, take care, and till the next time, be well, stay safe, and stay healthy. Take care.
Take care, Tim.
Ciao, guys. Bye-bye.
Ciao. Always great having Tim on. A wealth of knowledge, all sorts of stuff going on with him. Everything from conventions, readings, you name it. He's a very busy guy.
Yep, he
He's
is.
a very, very busy guy.
And for everyone out there, we have his website linked
On the web, yeah.
on the description below. So if you want to check him out, just go click on the link.
And do find him on Facebook and check out his Black Cat Lounge. Really cool. Awesome. And dude, man, 14 seasons.
Season 14.
Done.
Done
Finished.
and dusted. Done and dusted.
And for those of you who are new to the show, we usually take a summer hiatus, regroup in the fall, in September. We'll be back with season like our official show in September. We'll probably do a couple bonus shows
here and there.
here and there. Something comes up, somebody wants to pop on, and whatever. We do it to stay in touch with you guys and see what you guys are all up to, so to speak.
Yeah.
If you're up to anything, like us.
Hopefully up to good stuff, not the other way around.
No, exactly. So yeah, that's like I said, we'll be working the stretch of hiatus, putting guests together and formulating what the 15th season will comprise of, and we will. Hey Lee, how are you? And you know what? We'll definitely let you guys know, through here or our Facebook group or whatever, as to who will be coming on, who will be kicking off the 15th season, if anything. There's one thing I would like to do, and sort of probably the end of July, Alex. I'd like to bring on a few people and sort of have earmarking a year since we lost Gareth.
Yeah.
I'd like to have a few. Yeah, I'd like to have a few people on mindset and sort of have a full blown discussion. I think. What am I drinking? I'm drinking.
Double the juice.
Yeah, and it is juice, man. It's pure juice. It's so good. So good. Yeah, it's got to be what, 11, so what, 4:00 in the morning there now? Close to 4. Our good friend Tim the Pigeon Master is with us still, which is cool. Tuppy, thank you for joining us, Tuppy. And Dan from Down Under, History Hunter Down Under. Thanks for joining us, guys. Yeah, I'm sure Matt will probably be on. Ben and a few others. I'm sure we'll try to get on and do a special remembering Gareth a year later. It's crazy how a year has flown by. Hey Simon, always great to see you. Cool. 12:55 Monday there, eh? 12:55 in the afternoon in Australia.
Yeah.
Wow. Crazy. Yeah. Awesome. I guess before closing this, I mean, what do you well, I'll quickly ask? What would you like to sort of explore with season 15?
You mean something that we haven't explored already?
Well, yeah, I guess so. I mean, is there something that you'd like to dive further into?
Well, I've always, and you know this already, but I've always been interested in more in the metaphysical as well, right? So
Yeah. Mhm.
I'd like to see if we can get someone else on to talk more about that. We had some people on already, but I'll delve a little bit deeper. At least one more show on that topic.
Yeah. Yeah, true.
Yeah.
Okay, hold on. And let me just say goodbye to the New Visions crew. Take care, everyone. Thank you for listening to us on New Visions. Again, season 14 finale with Tim Shaw. I want to, thank Tim for joining us. Always cool having him on, and we look forward to having him back on in the future, I'm sure. Take care, everyone, in the New Visions world. Good
Take
night.
care. Good night.
And there we go. That's New Vision. I'm up for a little bit more. I don't know, but you're probably pretty beat, right?
Yeah, I'm pretty beat. I gotta wake up early for work anyway.
All right. Well, I mean, I'll go for a little bit longer if anybody wants to go on and chat a little bit longer about the show and whatever else, if you want to do that. So,
Yeah.
I mean, it's up to
Open
you.
it up. Open it up to people.
Yeah. So if anybody would like to join us or me or whatever, by all
Steve.
means, I'll put the link for a little bit longer anyways. Let me just put the link in chat. Have a after party bash for the ending of season 14. Let me just make sure everything's okay there. Okay, good. We're uploading and archive is saved. Anyone who would like to join, by all means, we'll go a little bit longer. If not, then we'll close things down. But yeah, craft beers. I prefer craft beer. I find it has more flavor. Obviously, yeah. Hold on, I just want to make sure that's all loaded. Oh yeah, it's loading up. Okay, good. Okay. Yeah, guys, don't be bashful if somebody would like to join for a little bit longer. I mean, who knows? Depends on what kind of discussion we
Topic you
get
guys
into.
discuss.
Yeah, that we discuss. If not, we'll shut things down. I'll give it a few minutes. See if anybody would like to join in.
All right. Well, with that, I'm gonna take off.
All
Guys,
right, Alex. Alex,
pleasure.
take care.
Yep.
I'm sure we'll probably obviously chat before the new
Oh,
season
yeah.
starts.
And-
Obviously,
We'll chat before definitely, and we'll probably do a bonus show here and there anyway. So
yeah,
not all is
absolutely.
lost.
No, absolutely not. All right, my friend. Take care. Have a good
Okay.
evening.
Have a good night,
Take care.
everyone. Bye.
Good night. Good night. So yeah, I'll go for a little bit longer here if anybody wants to join in. Chat is in the link. I mean, the link is in chat. We'll go if we'll see how much longer. Okay, make sure that's good. I'll keep it open for a little bit longer. If nobody joins in, then we'll shut things down. I just want to make sure the archive is up and well. Perfect. And there we go. That is done. That is done. That is done. That is done. The camera's all screwed up. Okay. So, anyone in chat would like to join me? Cheers, by all means. Link is there. I feel like just sitting back and waiting. Any questions, comments in the chat? Go ahead. I don't care. Let's keep this thing rolling. Once again, I'd like to thank Tim Shaw for coming on. Always cool having Tim on. And again, his Black Cat Lounge has been going on for quite a long time. Let's see. He's fairly well known in the Western New York area and in other parts in Michigan and in Pennsylvania and quite, look at he's done a few TV shows, most recently the one with Jack Osborne, his paranormal based show there. He's done a couple episodes. So I think he was saying his latest appearance just premiered a couple Sundays ago, I think he was saying, or a couple Saturdays ago. I do believe it's on Saturdays. Let me just see. Let me just see. Hold on. As to when. Okay, where are we? Okay. And I don't see it anywhere. Where the heck are we? Let's go to his website. No. Portals to... What is it called? Portals. To hell. Okay. I'm just looking at to see the episode that Tim... Okay, so we're... Okay. So, yeah, Staten Island. Okay, so it was episode 8 of season 3 that Tim was on. He's got another one. Let me just see. Hold on. Do I got... let me just see if it's got a... let me see if it's got a trailer. I'll play it here. Let me just see. Okay, hold on. Videos. Oh, okay. Okay, hold on. Portal. Let me see. I have not actually watched anything. I don't think I've watched the show. I haven't watched the show. It's on the Travel Network, Travel Channel. Oh, sorry, Travel Channel. Interesting. Where the heck is it? Okay. And I've been to Iron Island. Let me just... Interesting. Okay, I've been to this. I'm going to... Let's see if I can... no, I'll probably get a copyright strike, so I'm not going to bother. Yeah, they've been to a few places I've been to and have investigated myself. Iron Island, Mars, if you're still listening, they were in Iron Island. Was it this season? No, it was last season. They were in Iron Island. And yeah, I was just looking to see if they had a trailer for it, but I'd play a trailer because a lot less of a strike. Not that it really matters, but still, whatever. Once again, I'll go on a little bit longer if anyone wants to join, by all means. And link is in the chat. And we'll get rid of that. Yeah, I would really like to do a special sort of tribute memorial sort of year later for Gareth. It's I know a lot of people who listen to this show and watch this show now are from the mindset universe and community, however you want to look at it. So, I myself listened to and watched when it was on YouTube. Mindset. A guest on a show a few times, and again, Gareth, a guest on our show a few times, quite often actually, especially the first little while during COVID when the pandemic started up. We would do lockdown shows, and it was usually him, myself, Alex, and Justin Valeria doing the shows, and they were great. We we all enjoyed doing them, even though sort of updating each other as to the scenario around during this during the pandemic, and lots of controversy. Obviously, views didn't always we didn't hey, we didn't always agree, but it didn't matter. It didn't matter if we always agreed on stuff. I think that's important, to have several different perspectives as to something like that. But we weren't always talking about the pandemic, obviously, but we would bring it up. And a lot of people out there obviously formulated an opinion about Gareth, and, especially when he did his 6th stream. And there was a lot of vicious comments left. Of course, Gareth passed away. There was nothing that you can do about it because he was pretty much the only person who had control of the channel. So therefore, you could defend Gareth in the comments, but you know what? This world's evil, plain and simple. And there's a lot of morons out there, and YouTube has a lot of those, and they will show up and make themselves known when somebody's down for the count. And it's really too bad. A lot of people would comment, of course, not knowing Gareth, right? Not knowing who he is, not knowing anything about him, but they would, voice their opinion. And a lot of times it was quite vicious, and it's too bad. But I would love to, like I said, I would love to do a special tribute year later, gather the troops again, and sort of, I'd love to have you guys all involved. All you guys who listened to, watched Mindset or Paratalk even with Reeves. I'd love to bring Reeves on as well, who is a pinnacle part, a vital part of the Paratalk world, which Gareth was a part of in the beginning. And I must say, speaking of, I think Reeves has done a wonderful job, a great job bringing Paratalk back to life. You know, it's a really tough thing to do. I mean, when you had something going so good, it's really tough to pick the pieces up when somebody is no longer with us, somebody vital to the show. It's tough. But Reeves did a great job. He's done a great job. He has molded Paratalk into his own, and he's running away with it. He's doing a great job. And I'm really looking forward to the first Paratalk live here on YouTube. I think it's this Saturday here on YouTube. And I can't remember what time he's doing it at. You know, uh, I'm just looking to see. I'll let you guys know in case you guys don't know. I mean, if you're not following Paratalk, please do so. Let me just I'll bring it up here. Let me just all right. And I will, there you go. Put it in the chat for everybody. There you go. If you have not checked it out, please like, subscribe, listen, whatever. Do whatever. You know what? Reeves has done a wonderful job. And okay, I do not see. Hold on. Okay, I don't see his live. Oh, maybe he's changing it. Okay, maybe he doesn't have his live going on anymore. I don't know. I don't see it anymore on the channel, so maybe he's changed it. I don't know. Once again, if anybody would like to join me, I'll go for a little bit longer. If somebody does come on and we start chatting about something, then of course I'll go longer. But I will cut this in a few minutes if nobody decides to join, because there's no, you guys don't want to listen to me go on about just about nothing, do you? Because like I said, this is like totally unscripted. I just figured I'd stick around after have an after show sort of thing for our last show of the 14th season. Man, 14th season. It's incredible. Okay, let me just put it in chat again. One more time, like I said, if anybody would like to join, by all means. If not, hey, we'll cut this. Yeah. Where the heck did it put it? Yeah, Lee, if you're still listening, I have to say, yeah. I don't know what kind of craft beer have you enjoyed over in the UK? I mean, I know of some things, obviously, like Northern Monk and Cloud. Is it Cloud Brewing? Cloud Brewing's pretty cool. I've had a few things. Actually, I don't have the can. I wish I had the can with me. I have it downstairs in the man cave. I have one from Wyndham. I think it is Wyndham Brewing, I believe. And they did a special release in October. And on the can was a scene from the original John Carpenter Halloween. And it was the one scene with Michael, in behind the Purity. I know Purity's I'm quite aware of purity. It's really good. Um, and the label on the can, I can't remember the name of the beer, but it's called. Oh, what was it called? I can't remember what it was called, but it had Michael Myers in behind. You had the clothesline, and then you had the sheets hanging from the clothesline, and in behind is Michael Myers just sort of peering through the sheets on the clothesline. Classic scene from Halloween. And I'm like, I gotta have that fucking can, you know? And I was like hunting high and low, and it's really hard to find somebody who doesn't mind shipping beer, uh, because of customs and everything else. It's alcohol. But you know what? There's ways of getting it through, and I've been quite successful, thankfully. But I shouldn't say that. I'm on YouTube. No, but I was able to find somebody in the UK who was able to snatch a 4-pack of it for me and ship it over here, man. And the beer was awesome, fucking great. But that label, I had to have that can. I just the label was just so phenomenal. I love collect. See, I'm a big horror movie fan, and especially some, hey, Halloween. Um, I love artwork that is inspired by some of these excuse me, by some of these horror flicks, and I've got a few. Yeah, I would really love to come over, and actually, they're back now, but they were over in my good buddy who owns Third Moon Brewing, Steve Bebo and Chris. And they've been on the show in the past. Um, they've been on the show in the past. They were actually in Leeds, UK, there this past weekend during a beer festival that Northern Monk put on, and they were pouring Third Moon stuff there. Um, so I don't know what kind of you know reaction people had to the beer, but their beer is phenomenal. It is, I think, some of the best. It's really up there with some of the best um, craft beer out there. Because BrewDog is quite popular. Yes, yeah, I know. Uh, yeah, the artwork on the cans is just phenomenal, and that's again. I wish I had some up here. I don't. I mean, if you give me a sec, I can grab some. I want to grab the Halloween can. You guys hold tight. I'll be right back. I really want to bring that. I want to show you the can. Is some of the cans. I'm gonna show you guys. Okay, so hold tight. Don't go anywhere. I'll be right back. All right, back. Once again, click the link if you want to join. Some artwork. Everybody knows Clockwork Orange, and when Three Floyds out of Monster, Indiana, released this guy, I was like, I gotta have it. I'm a big Clockwork Orange fan. So, Morocco Milk Stout. Yeah, isn't that cool? The fucking artwork. And then in the eye, you got the Three Floyds. Right? Isn't that awesome? And let me tell you, the beer was just really fucking cool too. And so the one I was talking about by Whalum, hold on, Whalum, which is in Newcastle in the UK. And they, yeah, it is cool. They released this special edition can, and they called it The Shape. And I'm telling you, I fucking love this can. When like I said, I was so glad that I was able to find somebody to send me it from the UK. Look at this, The Shape. You know, look at that. Isn't that awesome? Eh? I don't know if there's where the brewery is located. And the beer was just amazing. Once again, isn't that cool? The artwork is phenomenal. You know? Amazing. Hold on. One of my favorites. And John Carpenter again here. This was a collaboration out of nobody wants to join me. What's going on? You know what? I'll show these cans and then I'm cutting loose here unless somebody comes on. Because I don't want to babble on unless somebody joins. So this one's pretty cool. Fans of Escape from New York will love this one. No Escape from Western New York. But when I saw that, I'm like, so Mortalis and Other Half, which are both in New York State. Mortalis is Western New York. Other Half does have a facility now in Western New York, but they're based in New York City. But the beer was amazing too. That was so cool. Let's see. And for all you Friday the 13th fans, this was pretty cool. Camp Crystal Haze. Can't say the beer was great. I mean, I liked it. It wasn't great, but the artwork, Aero Lodge in California. But that's pretty cool, eh? That's pretty neat. I like that. Again, they're Orange, California. Not orange, but California. But okay. How about you, creature from the Black Lagoon fans? Here you go. Look at that, eh? Creature from the Merc Lagoon. But the can art is just phenomenal. It's just phenomenal. Look at that. That's so awesome. And again, like I said, I'm a big horror nut. So a lot of these And I don't know if you remember the movie House, and this is a big my friend's brewery in Las Vegas, beer zombies. He was peddling when he began. He was on Instagram. He was just peddling beer zombies like a brand. That's it. He was just starting out, nothing, and bang, his brand beer zombies just flew. And he just it was amazing how much he's got. A couple brew pubs now in Las Vegas. Anyhow, they did this with Brewhouse Brewing collaboration, which you can't get their stuff. It's only subscription only to get their beer, but I was able to get this, and I'm telling you, I fucking love the can art. Look at that! Isn't that there's Brewhouse logo right there on the doorbell. But those of you house fans will recognize that. And you know what's funny? Speaking of all this stuff here, and we were talking about Gareth earlier. I don't know if you guys caught the one episode he did where he was at Phantom Brewing in California. I put him up to that. We had been talking because he had been trying some, Firestone and what he was drinking on his Friday night things on YouTube and whatever else. He'd have Stella, or he'd have some Firestone. Firestone. What was it? 804. Him and I would talk about craft beer and horror flicks and all that kind of shit. And I told him, I said, dude, have you ever been to Phantom Brewing? It's not far from you. And he's like, no, I've never heard of it. I'm like, man, you would absolutely fucking love it. It's a horror-based brewery, classic horror, mostly classic horror. And their beers are named after, classic horror movie actors or movies or whatever, monsters, you name it. And he says, yeah, I gotta check that out one of these days. And he texted me one day and he goes, and this, unfortunately, this is just before he passed away. I think about a month before he passed away. He had texted me and he said, look, man, I'm going to Phantom Brewing. I'm going to record it all and everything else. And, I'll show you. And, oh, great. Awesome. He went there and he was texting me the whole time while he was there and, sending me pictures from inside the brewery. Cause I had never been there. I had a couple of the brews cause a friend of mine lived in California and close by, and he had grabbed me some brews and sent them up here. And he was just like, wow, I can't believe I waited this long to come here. And I go, I knew you would love it. I knew it, And the thing he loved the most was the replica door from The Shining. And again, if you watch on the Mindset YouTube channel, you'll see he does a special thing on the I think it was Mindset Morning. Actually, let me just see if I can. I'll send you the link. It's Mindset Mornings Let's see. And he asked me to come on. He said, dude, I want you to come on. We got to talk about this shit. Where are we? Let's get videos. Dude, we got to talk about this shit because I'm telling you, man, this place is fucking awesome. Okay. Here, found it. And I will put it in chat for you guys. I don't know who's left with me here. Anybody left? I see 15 viewers, but there you go. There's the go check it out after the show. Whatever. I don't know. Who's in chat? Anybody still alive? I see 15 people, but I don't see 15 people. 14 now. I'm dropping. Somebody dropped out and started watching. But yeah, it was so cool to go on the show and talk with him, and because he was so fucking happy to do that. I'm just scanning through it actually. And we did it July 12th last year. And yeah, wow, July 12th. It's hard to believe it's been a year. But like I said, that had just happened before he got sick. Let me just I just going over the comments. But yeah, his sixth stream was unfortunately July 27th, when he did his sixth stream. And I can't I don't even want to go through the comments that were left. I've read them before, and it's sad. It really is. But like I said, I'd like to do a tribute to Gareth, marking the year after he left us. What was it? I think it was. Well, his sixth stream was the 27th, and I believe it was early. I think the first week in August he passed away. So, yeah, I would like to gather the troops and do a live stream here on YouTube and pay tribute to Gareth. And again, love to have you guys out. I'm gonna cut this. I'll give it another 5 minutes, and then I'm gonna cut this loose. I think everyone's pretty much, excuse me, done. There's nobody coming on, so I am going to cut this. I'm just watching. Yeah. There's a lot of people. Yeah. That's sad. Yeah. Yeah, it's sad, Neo. It really is. But like I said, I would like to sort of gather the troops and pay him tribute. I think we need to do that. A year later. Yeah, take care, Tim. Nice seeing you, buddy. Take care. Um, yeah, gather the troops and pay tribute to Kayla's memory a year later. Like I said, we'll probably do something in late July. Um, yeah, I think it would be great. It's always good to have people who are associated with mindset, and you guys, obviously, you guys have been good to us too. I want to say a thank you to all you guys who have come over here and started watching us and listening to our rhetoric or joining in and whatever else. We really appreciate having you guys around. We really do. Um, and have some sort of there are a lot of people out there that are doing podcasts and all that kind of shit. People like Matt and others who are still continuing, Ben and Reeves now with Paratalk, that are doing, keeping things going, keeping things alive. But I like to centralize it and bring you guys all together and sort of you know reminisce, which is cool. You got a pin, but you can't remember the name. That's cool. Well, when you make it there, Neil, let us know the name of the pub. I mean, that's the one thing about Gareth. He certainly loved his pubs, right? And the people that got to meet Gareth, because that was one thing that we were talking about. Before he had passed away, he asked me. He goes, "Are you guys thinking about having a nocturnal frequency meet and greet?" I'm like, "Yeah, we're thinking about it. We've done it a couple times. We've done it in we've done live shows on location where a lot of people have come out and were in the audience during the live shows and meet and greet sort of thing, which was pretty cool. I mean, there was one guy we mentioned before. There was one guy at one of the shows, all the way from India. He's like, "I love your show." He walked up to us and he goes, "Can I get an autograph?" And we're like, "What? Autograph?" "Yeah, big fan of your show. I've been listening to it. I'm from India and I've since moved to here, but I used to listen to you in India, and I'm so glad I found you guys and was able to come out to a live show." I'm like, "Oh, that is so cool." I mean, it's so humbling, that you're able to reach people, and that is cool, and that's what Gareth did. I mean, Gareth was able to reach people, which is awesome. You know, um, so it's really really cool. Um, but anyways, yeah, when I get there, I'm gonna have a pint of Stella, and dude, that would be so cool. Uh, you know, I'll have a virtual pint with you, man. I wish I could be there. That would be really cool. That would be really cool to have a pint in Gareth's name at the pub. That would be really cool. Uh, I will definitely, hopefully be I'll be hopefully be able to watch and have a pint with you, buddy. And that'll be so cool. Okay. Well, I think I'm gonna close this out. I mean, I know it's getting pretty. I mean, what is it? It's what 6 o'clock in the UK right now, close to 6, something like that. I think I'll close it out when I finish this pint, which is not too long. I'll close this out. But I want to thank once again. I want to thank Tim Shaw for joining us this evening for our season. Oh, it's 4:42 a.m. in the UK. Sorry. Wow. Really? For some odd okay, yeah, that makes sense. 5 o'clock coming up to 5 o'clock. Makes sense. Sorry. I don't know what I was thinking. I was thinking 6 hours. I don't know why. But yeah, that makes sense. I want to thank Tim Shaw for coming on once again. Really cool having him back on to close out our 14th season. And as mentioned, we usually do we do a hiatus for the actual show part of things over the summer. We come back with a whole new season. Excuse me. September. Usually, let me look at the calendar here, but I can give you an approximate. So we're looking at maybe September 11th. Oh, that's a sore point with the Americans. Yeah, that could be tough. Huh. We could do it September 4th. Well, so yeah, probably September 4th, maybe this year. I don't know. We'll see. But we usually come back in the first or second week of September. Like I mentioned earlier, we'll let you guys know in terms of whatever guests we've got lined up. But through the summer, we'll pop in and do bonus shows here and there. And again, we'll probably do a tribute to Gareth 1 year later, unfortunately, after his passing. Gather the troops and sort of organize something for that. I'd love to have you guys all involved for that. Yeah, so yeah, one more sip. Cheers, guys. But anyways, that's it. Gonna close out season 14. I want to thank you all for watching and listening on the New Visions Radio Network, and again here on YouTube. All you new viewers here on YouTube. There's quite a few of you. I want to thank you for supporting us and continued support. And hey, we'd love to hear from you guys. Please subscribe if you haven't subscribed. Leave comments on what you'd love to hear on the show. Yeah, take it easy, Lee. Thanks for tuning in and watching. Guys, leave your comments on what topics you'd love to hear about, or maybe guess. Wow, that's a pretty funky. Look at that. That's a pretty funky. I don't see it. You see that right here? That was a pretty funky orb. Ooh. Was it the spirit of Gareth? I don't know. It was pretty funky. I mean, normally something like that would you'd be able to see if it's like dust or whatever. I couldn't see anything. That was pretty freaky, man. Anyways, leave your comments in the comment section down below. Like and subscribe. Let us know about any show topics, guests, whatever. We'd love to hear from you guys. Please let us know. Until until we do a bonus show, whatever, we'll see in the new season coming in September. And I'm sure we might see you on a few shows like Frank's or Matt's or who knows, Barry's, who knows. Anyways, guys. Yeah, Percy would be yeah, John, yeah. I'm sure we'll get a lot of those guys on. But until then, guys, take care. Thanks for watching and tuning in this evening. Until the next time, take care, guys. Good night.